Hello everyone, I'm Alicia. Welcome to my Beautiful Nights channel. For this tutorial, I'm going to show you guys how to make that beautiful necklace that you just saw in the picture at the beginning of this tutorial. And the materials that I'm using to make the necklace are from the Dollar Bead Box. All of these here are from the Dollar Bead Box except for these 11 seed beads. These are from my own stash, and of course I'm using my own beading thread, and I will be using a chain, a clasp, and some jump rings. But a lot of you, if you're not subscribed to the Dollar Bead Box, that's okay. You could still make this piece. A lot of you are probably going to have these same size beads in your stash. They're just going to be a different color. And I gotta tell you, this stitch is very fun. It's repetitive. It's kind of like the daisy chain. I could just keep going and going and making this. It's really satisfying. And how I'm making the necklace is I'm going to have beading in the front like this, okay? Like this in the front, and then the rest is going to have chain. Now, the amount of beads that I'm using, you don't have to use the same amount, if that makes sense to you. You can make this stitch shorter than mine if you want. You can make it longer than mine. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's kind of like the daisy chain stitch in a way, where you don't have to have like an exact amount of beads to make the design. You can make this short or long. It's totally up to you. You just have to use these same size beads that I'm using in the same places that I'm doing it. So let's go over the list of materials. You're going to need 7 feet of 8-pound fireline. You're also going to need a size 10 beading needle. You will need, again, these counts, you can use less beads or more beads than me. You will need 25 6mm round beads. I'm using the miracle beads that were in the box. This color mix is really pretty once it's all together. And I'm also using 25 4x6mm teardrop beads, 50 4mm Czech fire polish beads. So this is an entire strand. So if I lost one of these beads, that means that it will be one less unit of the stitch that I'm doing. You will also need 24 3mm Czech fire polish beads. This will be done on the top row. And you will need 50 3mm Czech fire polish beads. This will be done on the bottom row. And you will also need 11 seed beads. And like I said, you will need a chain, a clasp, and some jump rings. So this is the list of materials. Remember, I will post them down there below in the description bar. Oh, one other thing I want to say. These teardrops here, they are 4x6mm, but I think you can use different ones in your stash. So if you have some that are bigger, maybe you don't have these as small as I do, you could probably go up in size and it would still look good. There might be some leaf beads that would work for this. You might have to elongate the area where I go to put these on just by adding like 2 more seed beads on each side. So this is just some alternatives and information I want to give you guys in case you don't have these. And instead of using a teardrop, you probably could also just use a 3mm bead in place of them if you don't have any teardrops at all, okay? So there's some alternatives for you. To start the stitch, I'm going to pick up a 4mm in 11 a 6mm 11 a 4mm, and then 11 just like that. Slide the beads down. Okay, I want to have a 6-inch tail because I have to use this tail to make my loop for my clasp. So right here, I just go like that. Okay, take the needle, pass back through all of these. I don't knot this because, like I said, I have to, make a loop down here for my clasp. And sometimes knots block holes. So to avoid that from happening, I just pass through here a second time. Okay. Slide my work to my fingertips there. And take my needle and go back through this bead where I started. Okay, just the 4mm, not the seed bead. Pull all your tail through, and you should have this triangle. Okay, there we go. And then what I'm going to do is pick up one 11-0, okay, one 4mm, two 11-0s, a 3mm, two 11-0s. That's the pattern, and I'm going to go down through this 4mm, going in a circle. Okay, now I have this. I'm going to go through this 11-0 and through the 4mm. Pull it tight, you'll hear the beads pop together. They actually pop. Okay, that's what I have now. I'm going to repeat this part here again with the miracle bead. So I have to pick up an 11-0 seed bead, a 4mm, an 11-0, a miracle bead, an 11-0, like this, and go through the 4 to make a circle. See, I'm making a circle by going back around. And if your last stitch you did got loose, before you pull all your beads down, go like this, pull that thread, and then pull your working tail and slide those beads down. Now I'm going to flip this over so I could pass through the seed bead that I just added and through, go through that 4mm there. Okay, pull all the tail through, pull it tight. It should look like this. So if I added more seed beads up here, or if this bead on the top, if that was bigger, this would curl big time on us. Okay, I did this last night. It wasn't working out. So you don't want to do that. You make sure you have two 11-0s, and you want to do either Miyuki or Czech. Don't use Toho for this. They're bigger, and it would make this curve more, and you want this to be a straight line. So, and then the next thing you want to pick up is a seed bead, a 4mm, two seed beads, a 3mm, and two seed beads. Like this. I'm going to go through this 4mm again, but I'm going in this direction. Like that. Turn and go through this 11 and through this 4. Pull this tight. Make sure it's sitting properly. So pretty. Now we're doing the miracle bead. So we go back and forth. Go back and forth between these. Okay. So you always start out with an 11-0 seed bead, and then pick up a 4, an 11-0, a miracle bead, or 6mm. It doesn't have to be miracle bead. You can use pearls too if you wanted to. Okay. And then sew back through this 4. Pull this down. Like that. And then I'll flip this, go through the 11 and through the 4. Like that. So I'll do this a few more times with you guys just to make sure that you have it. It's very easy to do. It's so satisfying. There's some things that I do, it's like really enjoyable and satisfying stitch that I could just do it over and over and over. And this is one of those stitches. Okay, so that's what I have so far. We just did this. Okay, so to know what to do next, look at what you just did. I just did this miracle bead part. Now I have to do this. So it's like this is the bottom and that's the top. Okay, pick up an 11-0 seed bead, a 4mm, two 11s, a 3mm, two 11s, just like this. Go through this 4mm, like that. Pull the tail through. You have this. I take the needle, I go through this 11 and through the 4. Ow. Okay, pull it tight. You don't want to see any thread. All of your thread should be invisible. You shouldn't be able to see it. That's what I have so far. Now I have to do the miracle bead part again because I just did the top there. So pick up an 11/0, a 4mm, 11/0, a 6, and an 11. Like this. I'm going to go this way because we're going in a circular direction. Okay. Pull the tail through. Okay, and then I just flip it just so I can go in this direction. Through the 11 and to the 4. Okay, stop, pull it tight. I like going like this, pull it tight with my fingernails. That's what I have so far. Let's do it again. We're doing the top because I just did the miracle bead. So it's a seed bead, a 4mm, 2 seed beads, a 3, and 2 seed beads. Like that. I have to go in this direction. Okay. Pull this through. And then go through these 2 beads, the 11 and the 4, and pull your needle through. Okay, and there we go. So here is my necklace so far, and I have these here beads left to do, and I thought I would do them with you because I have to put my loop on here. So I'm going to pick up a seed bead, my 4, seed bead, 6, seed bead, like this. We're going to sew through the 4mm. Okay. But then I'm going to go through this seed bead right here. Okay, this is the one that we just added. I went through that one. So through that 4 and that 11/0. Pull your thread tight. Pick up 4 11/0s. Like this. And then sew down through this seed bead. Okay. Through the next seed bead, we're making a circle, so I'll just go like this for now, and then turn it this way. Okay, through that seed bead. Okay, so this little loop right here, this is where my jump ring will be attached to, so it's gonna look like this. Okay, because this here is going to be draping at the bottom. So my necklace will be attached to this circle. Now I'm going to reinforce this. I could do it 2 or 3 times. I'm just going to go around it. I think I may do it 3 times. Okay, so back at my start. Pull it tight. Okay, I'm going to go through it again. So through those 2. Okay, and then through this one. Pull it tight. Through this seed bead where we started, go down through the 4mm, and then through this 11/0. Okay, and that's what you should have. So this side over here, we'll be using this tail to do this loop, or this one, depending on which one's longer, because I'm going to go in this direction now. So now I'm going to take my needle, and I'm going to pick up a seed bead, a 3mm, a seed bead, a teardrop, and these teardrops here, see how this side's transparent? but this side has a lot of color, so I pick which side I like more. You may have a same seed bead or same teardrop, something similar. You could do that too if you want. And I just pay attention to which side of the necklace is the front. Okay, so these here are the beads that I'm picking up. Now let's say you want to try a bigger teardrop, or maybe you want to do a leaf bead that is taller here at the top, like the stem of the leaf here is sticking up some. You might have to pick up 2 seed beads, 2 here and 2 here, to elongate that, or maybe just 2 here beside the teardrop to make it work for you. Okay, so I'll just slide those down, and then I'm going to take my needle and I'm going to go up through these 2 seed beads. I may have to go like this because of the angle that I'm at, and I'm just trying to be careful not to pierce my thread. Pull this through, and just like that, it's on the bottom. And I'll go down here to finish this. So I'm going through the 3. I'm going through these 3 here. So what I do is I pick up this loop of beads every time, and then I just pass through these 3 beads, and then I pick up the same loop again. But see how close this teardrop is to this bead? It's touching it. So what I'm saying is, if you have to use a leaf bead, like a leaf drop bead, or a teardrop, and it's taller on the top of the bead here, you could just add a seed bead here and here, or up here, to elongate this so that bead works for you. I hope this makes sense. Okay, and then I pick up the same beads again. A seed bead, a 3mm, a seed bead, a drop bead. Look at this side. Very colorful, flashy. I like that dark, like pink purple color. And then 11-0. And then my 3mm and 11-0. And then I go up through this seed bead. Okay, turn, go through these, and you kind of have to do one at a time when you go through here, just because it's like a half a circle that you're going through, and it's kind of hard to shoot through all of them together. Okay, and give that a nice tug. This is going to help curve this piece some for us. That is so pretty. Look at the colors. Okay, continue on. Seed bead, 3mm, seed bead, teardrop. We'll come here. Seed bead, 3mm, seed bead, like this. Go up through this seed bead, and then through the middle one, so I found, after beading for more than half my life, that it really is best if you have a beading needle that is slightly bent. Do you see this? Like, it's not perfectly straight, it just has a slight curve to it. This actually helps a lot when you're getting through areas like this, to have a slightly curved needle. Okay, so see this one here, the back side's clear, so I like that side more. Okay, there's my beads. I'm just gonna go up right here. I cut my fingernails off yesterday, and I'm actually struggling to bead without them. I feel like a huge part of me is missing, and I'm like fumbling and stuff, trying to hold on to things. Through there. Go down to the next. Pull it tight. Look at that. It's so cute. I was also thinking that you probably could get away with using Miyuki drops. If you have any of those. I do have some in my stash. I just recently got some. And I kind of wanted to make a second one of these necklaces because I really like this. And in the dollar bead box, there were these red pearls. There was only 20 of them though, but you could still use them. And then there was, I'm going through here now. And then there was 3mm and 4mm Czech fire polish beads that were half copper with an AB finish. They were beautiful. They were my favorite in the box, and they looked really good with the red bead, and I was going to use them together, but I didn't have another because I needed 2 different 3mm Czech fire polish beads for here and then for the top, and there wasn't another one in the box that looked good with that, so I would have to go to my stash. But I was just trying to hurry up and get this video out, so that's why I didn't make a second one. But yes, I would have loved to make this again. Okay, picking up my beads. Like that. Coming out here, going up through this 11. Down. And I'll stop and show you what this looks like. So see, here's what my necklace looks like so far. And I just have to do 1 teardrop over here. So I'm picking up my beads again, 11/0, 3mm, 11, my teardrop, 11, 3mm, 11/0, like this. I'm going to go through this seed bead, okay, like that, and then I'll just sew up here, and I'm going to go through these beads, through the 4, the 11, and that one there, because we have to copy this side to make our loop. Okay, and then I'm going to pick up my 4 beads. Slide them down. That's what I have. I'm going to sew through these 4. Again, making a circle. Okay, and just like I did the other side, I'll pull this side here tight because I don't want that to loosen up. I don't think it will though. It's already snugged down. Just making sure though. And then I have to pass through these seed beads 2 more times. Okay. Through here. Okay, that's 2 passes. Go through them all again 1 more time. Through here. Down through here. Through this seed bead. And then take the needle and go down through this 4mm. Okay, and let's see, I have to go, I'm trying to follow my old thread path, so I have to go through here, then down through these 2 seed beads. Okay, and now I can tie knots. I'll tie knots down here in these loops following my thread path of those loops, and then this thread I will take this one, go through these beads here, 2 11s, 3mm 2 11s. I could tie a knot right here on this top, and then go down through here, and then turn around and go through, you know, the 6mm, tying knots, come up through the 4, and I would just follow my old thread path, zigzagging, going this way, tying knots. And I always show how to tie a knot because I always assume, because I get comments all the time, I'm new to your channel, so I want to make sure that everybody knows how to do this. So to tie a knot, okay, going back to the thread here I was working on, I'm going to take the needle, pass underneath right here, make a loop, and then pass through that loop 2 times. Bring that knot down right here in front of the 3mm, and then pass through this bead, through the 3, okay, and then tie another knot again. And I just keep going, tying my knots, using up all of my tail, because the more tail you use up, the more strength that you give it, the stronger and longer lasting your piece will be. So I go through here. I'm gonna show you the thread path I'm gonna follow. I'm gonna do the same thread path with this needle and thread that I just did. So I'll be looping down here, going like this, tying my knots, okay? And again, back up to here with this thread. You want to go through these 2 seed beads, tie a knot here. You could tie knots in between these seed beads. You're going to go down here, okay, tying knots as you go. And the thread's short, so you'll have to tie as many as you can close together. So like after every 2 or every other bead, tie knots, and just use up your thread. And then after that, I'm not going to show how to do this part, but it's pretty simple. You just want to take and get you some chain. My chain is kind of buried right now. Oh, that's not straight. Let's look at the camera. I'm going to use a Rolo chain for this, but you can use any chain you want. And all you do is you take a jump ring, attach a chain here, and this is what I do. Whenever I put a chain on a piece, a necklace like this, I have a spool of chain, for example, that I will be doing. I'm going to take a jump ring, put it onto the chain. I'm not going to measure it. There's multiple ways you could do this, by the way. I do it always. But one way that I really like to do it is I will take and put a jump ring onto the chain, not taking any of it off the spool. I will attach it here, and then I put this on my neck and I adjust it up and down, deciding where I want it to be. And then I cut the chain, and then I pull it together like this, and I find the center of the chain by going like that, and then I cut that open, and then I put my clasp in. I love this piece. It's gorgeous. Please like this video, leave me a comment, subscribe if you want to see more of my videos, and make sure you click the bell button so that you get notified whenever I upload new videos. And check me out on my social media site. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and Twitter. Thanks for watching.